Hey, what's up, guys? This is Justin from Justice League Swag, and today I'm doing a deck profile on my Murakumo deck because we haven't had locals in a while because of the pandemic going on, and a lot of people actually asked for deck profile. So we decided we're going to start doing deck profiles on everything since we can't really meet up like we used to play anymore. So starting up, my trigger lineup is 8 crit, 4 draw perfect guard, 4 heal. Starter cat devil, because cats are the best. But the crits, because rushing your opponent with damage really helps Murakumo shine, because with a lot of Excel decks right now, if you can get your opponent to 3 damage by your first grade 3 ride, a lot of times you can win. And I'll show you how you can do that later with Murakumo specifically. So 8 crit. You want to play the draw triggers just because you need the perfect guards. Like, you really need the perfect guards, and you don't have a lot of space to play other stuff. Great one lineup. I am playing 4 Jiraiya, 4 Slug, and 4 Sanji. Slug was actually one of my teammates' ideas, where the reason for it being is with the meta how it is, it's so much destruction or people are attacking front row if you're playing Excel anyway. You might as well get rid of the card that's in front of Slug in order to gain power, to give power to the rest of your field. So the power gaining helps you with your force matchups. It makes it a little bit easier. It makes it easier for you to hit magic numbers on your Excel circles. And then it also hard counters Narukami, especially the new Vanquisher build. Because if you're putting all of your cards back in your deck, like how I have this deck set up for me, my front row leaves the field while I'm attacking. And then I give power to everything else. So I can be aggressive as well as be defensive and force the Narukami player to bind their own cards in order to get off their abilities. So in that matchup specifically, I usually try to go for all Slug boosting my rear guards, and then Sanji or a Central Arrestor behind the Vanguard. Otherwise, for matchups not Narukami or for Force, I try to focus on getting Sanji boosting my rear guards. Because if my opponent's going to perfect guard my Vanguard, I want this to overpower them once I use... damn, I haven't played this in a while. Hyuga skill. Jiraiya. Jiraiya is really good if you're going to combo it with Spellhound. So on a typical grade 2 turn, I'm going to get into my grade 2s next. I want to ride Hokaku and then call Spellhound. Call a Spellhound, get another Spellhound. But first use Jiraiya's skill. You want to place it behind a rearguard circle because you want that Spellhound circle that's going to come off the swing for a 30k lane. So you use Jiraiya's skill on Hokaku. Give him plus 10, so he's 22 swinging at your opponent on their grade 1 or grade 2 turn. It's swinging high enough where they pretty much have to do a 1 to pass, eat it, or perfect guard. Then the 2 Spellhounds come in at 22 as well because of the Jiraiya. So that's why you want to play this last card behind one of the Spellhounds in case one of your opponent checks a damage trigger when you swing with Vanguard, if they let it hit. Then the last Spellhound lane, unboosted, will swing next, and then the Jiraiya lane. So it makes for some pretty good setups. This is the rest of my grade 2 lineup. 3 Central Arrestor, because I want to be as aggressive as possible, especially with the Slugs in the deck. He'll get power to poke by me using Slug's ability on one of my rear guards. So usually I'll swing with that rear guard lane first, put my card on the bottom of the deck, and now Central Arrestor can poke. So you can even be cute with Boost and Slug because I don't think it has to swing at the Boost and swing at the Vanguard. Could swing at a rear guard so that your central wrestler can guarantee swing at the Van and then get the other 5K somewhere else. But this card is also really good against decks no matter primarily other Excel decks because then you're a 12K base. So on their 9K grade 2 turn, if you go first, you have a defensive advantage having out a Hokaku. And then if you boost with a Sanji, you could put one of your Spellhounds back on the bottom of the deck. So you can recur cards. Grade 1. Grade 2, Central Wrestler is really good because you get a lot of attacks early. That's why I primarily run it at 3, so I can draw it instead of having to search for it with Hyuga skill. Grade 3 lineup. Playing 4 of the boy. He is the win condition. I am playing 3 Hayeki Vogue. In my opinion, this card should have been hit instead of Shiryuki. The reason why is because if you go first, especially with the slugs, and if you have one in hand, you can completely overpower your opponent. Because how it would actually resolve, you could go ride Hyuga. Alright, Excel to primarily you want to draw. Then you can play Hayeki Vogue from hand and overboost your field while your opponent's still on grade 2. This can be really devastating. And you'll have the counterblast to do this because the rest of my deck doesn't counterblast early. That's why I kept cut Million Rat. It was like, okay, counterblast 1 to get a Million Rat to poke at my opponent, or I could try to overpower with Spellhound and Rush. So it just made more sense to me aggressively to play that. Lastly, for my grade 3s, I'm playing 2 One-Eyed and then the 1 Shiryuki. The Shiryuki has saved me in a lot of matchups, primarily Aqua Force, and then it makes the Narukami matchup a little bit more manageable by defensively using it to give my opponents the minus 10K. The One-Eyes are in here in order to give me soul as well as they can boost. So, for example, if I'm playing against Narukami, I would have maybe 1 Higaki Vogue in the front, Hyuga's on Vanguard, and then I'll play 1 One-Eyed in the front, and then I'll boost, because you don't want to lose all of your Vogues to Narukami, you'll boost one of your Vogues with a Slug. So that way, after you swing with that lane, you put this on the bottom of the deck, you give something else power. You swing with your One-Eyes. Primarily, you want to play them on front row if you're playing against Narukami. After the swings, in turn, soul, and then you draw 2. It allows you to be aggressive and defensive, so you don't have to hold back, and you're not really minusing on that turn. The only reason why I'm playing 3 Vogue is because I put them back in the deck, so as long as I have one, or as long as his skill goes off, I'm going to be able to see more. I've had pretty even matchups against everything. The only deck that this really struggles against is like Bermuda or other force decks that can retire. Because if they can start killing off your back row, it hurts a lot because it's like for his skill to proc off, you need 5 units on board. So yeah, then his skill procs off of 5. So primarily, force decks hurt, but you can overpower them completely with this deck if you go first. So that's my deck profile. Please like and subscribe. Let us know what you want to see next.